Hi everyone, it's Rosalie here from the Purifying Place. Today on Align and Thrive, Live Your Truth, we're going to be talking about your voice, unlocking your voice, activating your throat chakra, kind of reflecting on that and seeing where you're at. Let's see. Yeah, so let's take a deep dive on that. I love this topic. Um, this is such a great topic so that you can make sure, you're speaking with confidence, you have clarity in your voice, you're being authentic. How do you show up and how do you express yourself in this world is a huge part of aligning with who you are and the thriving part, right? Living out your truth, showing up as who you are, expressing yourself fully. And maybe sometimes you felt like your voice is blocked, like you're struggling to say how you truly feel, or maybe you're scared to voice your opinions about things. Um, Maybe you're in a group setting and you want to jump in on the conversation, but you feel like nobody's going to care what you have to say, or you do share and then you feel like no one's heard you. Um, these are all things we can relate to. And, kind of getting clear on what unlocking your voice looks like and speaking from a place of power looks like, as opposed to remaining in a state where your throat will continue to be blocked. Um, but yeah, so kind of reflect on yourself for a minute and see and you probably already know, right? Um, what if your throat needs some love and healing? Do you people please? Do you say what other people want to hear as opposed to what you actually think? Um, do you, again, fear the judgment of what people will say about you and your opinions, or maybe you have truth or just wisdom or gifts that you want to share and express, and you're troubled about sharing those authentically and freely because you're like, oh my gosh, what if people judge me? What if people isolate me and um or abandon me? And all these fears come up with speaking our truth. And it's obviously more common than you think, is we hear those statistics about speaking in public speaking is the biggest fear, even above death. So that really shows like we all can use some help in this department. And also, how does it tie along with just your creativity? Are you able to express yourself fully? Because when we talk about unlocking the voice and activating the throat chakra, a lot of people just think about, it does include your voice, but it's also just the seat of self-expression. So, whether that be through your clothes, through how you decorate your home, and just, your environment, and what does that expression look like? Are you able to express yourself freely in those areas too, or are they also being blocked from reflecting who you truly are on the inside? Let's see. So, step one, we're going to talk about embodying your voice daily. So, think about in your day to day life, what would that look like if you are living in alignment with your truth, um, unlocking that voice, letting the energy flow through your throat chakra freely? What would that look like? And then we have 5 powerful ways to strengthen that. Number one is conscious communication, speaking your truth daily. And you can start small, just like in each moment, in each little conversation that you have, even when it feels comfortable or uncomfortable, express what you want to express. And, you have to be, and this is why it says conscious, because you have to become aware of when you are speaking out of a place of wanting to please, right? You have to have that little switch that says, oh my gosh, am I just saying what other people want to hear? Pause and ask yourself, like internally, what do I really want to say in this moment, in this conversation, in this setting? Like, what is it? And practice setting those boundaries for yourself to say yes to what you truly want to say, and then speak it. Um, and it could be as simple as just saying, responding to someone's invitation. Like if they invite you to something and your real answer is no, I don't want to go to that. But you're like, oh, they're gonna expect me to be there. I should go because they're so nice. And I have nothing else to do anyway. And then so you blurt out yes, like that was an opportunity for you to expand, right? To use that self awareness to then integrate it into this present moment, and practice what you preach, essentially, and what you know to be true for you. So the next time that happens, practice the awareness of, oh, let me see. Okay, check in with myself, pause. What is my truth? And then act it out, right? Take the action to express that fully, whether it's saying no, whether it's saying yes, whatever it might be. Honor your truth by letting it flow freely from your lips, right? Because you might know your truth, but if you're not acting on it, then it's becoming blocked, it's becoming stuck. So choose to express yourself instead. And if you make a mistake, or if you can always go back and say, you know what, I'm so sorry. And I've done this, right? Where before, when I was still kind of setting my boundaries and acting in full integrity, um, I've had to go back and say, you know what, I'm so sorry. I know I said I would attend this and whatever it was. And um, actually, I won't be able to go any longer. And thank you so much for the opportunity. And that's it, right? And don't feel like you have to explain yourself and do all this stuff. But I've done that with like a lot of notice and maybe just not a lot of notice. And I do it because I know I need to operate from my truth, because you're more empowered that way. And even if you follow through on going with something that you know was out of alignment, it's it's just going to bring more suffering, right? So it's okay to have them made a mistake, but then just like a GPS system, get back on track. Get back on track, right? Number two, journal your truth. So even if it's not actively speaking it out loud, use this opportunity of journaling to free your inner voice. So whatever comes up for you, practice writing it out, right? Sometimes I even just like speaking it out loud to myself because I'm very auditory. You can speak aloud your truth when nobody's around, right? You're there, God's listening, and speak it. And that action of just writing it, speaking it out loud, will help you in those moments, because what's happening is you're becoming more and more intimate with who you are on a soul level. And you know what that sounds like. You know how to express it because you're writing it and you're speaking it. And it just becomes strengthened and the energy flows there. Um, and some prompts that you can use to help you with this are, you know, what truth have I been afraid to speak out loud? What truth have I been afraid to speak out loud? Journal on that. Where in my life do I feel silenced? Do I feel like I can't speak up? And then journal on it, right? Or speak it out loud. Um, how would I speak if I knew I was fully supported? How would I speak? How would I show up? What would my words sound like? And practice saying those out loud to yourself or writing them down in your journal. Just those three journal prompts alone, or anything that comes up for you, write it out, speak it out, and strengthen that relationship that you have with your inner knowing and in your true self, to then be able to speak it freely and more effortlessly. Because just like with anything, it might just take some practice for you. And especially if you're so used to like, people pleasing and saying what you don't want to say, but you should say, just letting go of those, of all those rules of like that you need to follow, and just expressing yourself freely. But number three is sing, chant, or hum. Oh my gosh, this is like one of my faves. Singing like in your car or at home or wherever you're at. Just putting on your favorite song, your favorite music with, very inspiring, uplifting lyrics and singing it out loud activates your throat chakra, right? And I've also trained in sound healing, and there's just, the frequency of those sounds is healing all around. And then at the same on the same note, you also get to activate your throat chakra. So it's like, why not, right? And it's fun. Um, and then you can chant or hum, but it's the best, right? Just activate your voice by singing out loud to yourself or karaoke night or whatever you want to do. That's a fun one. Even if it's just in the shower, right? Just sing to your heart's desire. Number four is you wearing blue. And I just happened to be wearing blue today. And stay hydrated because your throat chakra is associated with the color blue. So eat blue clothing, wear blue clothing, eat blueberries, things that are blue. Um, Visualize blue light in your throat. Um, Surround yourself with blue. Water is blue, so drinking water, that will all help activate your throat chakra as well. And number five, affirm your power in front of the mirror, like in front of yourself. So in my classroom, I have this for my students. I teach third and fourth reading and writing, but we have a little mirror and it has all these affirmations around the mirror so they can stand there and tell themselves like, I am love, I am powerful, I am intelligent, or all the things that we have. Um, and do that too. Like I tell my students, like I have to do that because, it just feels good to affirm yourself. And you have to be able to look into your own eyes, like look into your own eyes and feel the essence and the truth that's in those words. Um, to embody them at a deeper level. And it might not feel, you might say something and be like, oh my gosh, that doesn't feel right. But don't lie to yourself, but say something that you're stepping into that maybe you don't feel like is completely fully embodied, but it is at some level, right? Like, for example, you can tell yourself, um, look in the mirror and tell yourself, like, my words are valuable and powerful. And they are. And I tell my students this all the time, like, your words are so powerful. So be so aware of what you speak to yourself and to others. And you can tell yourself that in the mirror, right? Another one, you can say, I'm worthy of being heard. I'm worthy of being heard, right? You can even tell yourself something as simple as like, I speak my truth. I speak my truth. It can be that simple. Um, and maybe you're working on saying it with more ease and confidence. You can tell yourself that, like, I speak with ease and confidence from the truth of who I am, right? And just practice like saying it with confidence, with conviction, looking at yourself in the mirror with giving yourself eye contact and just feeling that and feeling the resonance of that and allow it to transform you, right? That like partnered with all the other things, it's just going to be a full force in activating your throat. Um, and just remember, sometimes speaking your truth, this one's a bonus. Sometimes speaking your truth is not speaking at all. Like if you cannot for example, if you're at the point where you're like, oh no, I can't express it, I'm a little worried what they're gonna say or think, and you're still working on it, sometimes it can be the stepping stone to that could just be not speaking. Could be not validating that which you don't wish to validate, right? Like this came up for me once this week and someone was telling me, oh my God, I'm so sorry, I didn't really help you with anything, and you did so much, and I should have really done this. This person said all this stuff, and in my mind I'm thinking, yeah, you didn't. But I was also like, I knew it didn't I didn't have a I could have said, yeah, you didn't, and thanks for nothing. But I knew like that's not useful, but I also did not validate that, like, or try to, like, for example, old me would have been like, oh no, it's okay. Like, it's okay, it was no problem, and you're so, like kind of over, like just like that person said that because they felt guilty inside and maybe a little shame for not living in their full essence. And if I were to say, "Oh, it's okay," like, "No, no, 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 don't feel bad," and whatever, um, I'm co-creating that victim mindset for them, that those excuses. And instead of doing that, I just chose to say nothing. I said nothing. I just sat there and I looked at her and I listened and waited till she was done, and then we started talking about something else, I think. And I could tell there she felt a little uncomfortable probably. But then we moved on to the next thing, and she knows that's also a boundary too. She knows now, like, oh, Rosalie is not here to make me feel better about my where I knew I didn't live to my potential. Like, I'm not going to validate that. I'm not going to validate you not living to your potential. um, and so that was me speaking my truth in that moment, right? By just being quiet. So you can also practice that. I think that is a huge one because the activation of your voice also includes, and it's something I teach my students too, is like when to speak and when not to speak, right? That's also using the full range and expression of your voice. Um, but yeah, your voice is your power. Um, your voice is expressing yourself, and you deserve to be expressed fully without hesitation. Give yourself the permission to be authentic and speak with confidence. And I think part of speaking with confidence is knowing who you really are, which is why the coaching and the inner work and all that is so important and foundational for how you want to show up in this world. And so if you're ready to unlock your voice, speak your truth, live your truth, feel free to message me at The Purifying Place. I'm on Instagram, or you can find my website at thepurifyingplace.com. But yeah, thank you so much for joining us today. This is um, a big topic that I think a lot of people need help with, and especially in this very digital world where we're sharing online and sharing on Instagram, YouTube, and all the places. People really, I'm noticing this with my clients too, they really want to share the truth of who they are, and they're just so worried and doubtful and scared. Um, but we all have so many different, each of us has this unique ability and gift that we're meant to share. And we can only truly share that when we're ready to show up with confidence, with clarity of the truth of who we are, and being able to express that freely and fully. So, yeah, I hope you enjoyed this episode, and I look forward to seeing you guys for the next one. Enjoy your weekend. See you next time.